I am Koti. I have 12 years of experience into data science and Python or SAS language. Over the 12 years, I majorly worked into data science for different domains, banking and telecom domain. I am the instructor for data science course. Before we are going to discuss about, I am assuming everyone installed the Python. Before we are starting about how to execute the code, how to write the code, what editor we need to use, and let me give you some brief about it. So let me just 2 minutes. I want to recap for 5 minutes. What is a Python? Do you agree with me? Python is a general purpose language. Yes or no? Python is a
Yes, sir.
Python is high level programming language. Yes or no? What are the different features of Python? What are the different features of Python? Open source, easy to write, cross platform, easy to read, easy to code, object oriented and procedural programming, and interpreted language, and flexible. I mean, you can use it everywhere. And what else? Exceptional
Extensible.
handling, dynamic typed memory management. Like these are the features. Am I right? Now,
Executive speed also very fast.
robustness and execution speed is very fast as compared to any other language, and memory management is very awesome as compared to other language. Do you agree with me, right? Now we decided to go with Anaconda Python. Anaconda is a platform, or it is a distribution to work with the Python, or for Python. Why we need to choose Anaconda Python? For data analyst and data scientist, pre-built libraries are available. No need to install manually, right? So it is a large, as you know that it is one of the future in Python. It is a large standard library. What are the different libraries which are available? What are the different libraries which are available?
Math,
NumPy,
Math
Py,
library,
math,
Math library,
NumPy,
NumPy library,
Pandas.
Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn,
Pandas.
Matplotlib, Seaborn, Scikit-learn, SciPy, like blah blah blah, different libraries. So all these libraries, whatever the libraries, all these libraries are pre-built, installed in Anaconda. As a user like us, no need to install. So that is the reason. How it executes. So what are the how many different programming languages we have? 3 programming. What are those? Low level programming
Low
language,
level.
high level assembled
low level,
programming language, high
assembly,
level
assembly language, high level language.
not assembly language, sir. Assembled. Assembly means a different word. Assembled is different word. Okay,
Assembly.
don't mind. Okay. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
generally editor means here how Python interpreter. How Python interpreter means, what is interpreter? It is interpreted language. Yesterday also we discussed. What is interpreter? Interpreter means executing the code line by line. It won't execute all the lines at once. It won't execute all the lines at once. It execute line by line or code by code. Imagine I have a 10 lines of code. Imagine I have a 10 lines of code, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Imagine you got an error at third line. Imagine you got error at third line. Will it going to execute the fourth line? Will it going to execute the fifth line? No. Automatically it stop the error at third line. It will terminate the program. It won't execute further, right? So now that is what interpreter. Now how interpreter works internally, how interpreter works internally for Python. So editor means where users like us, where we can write the code. Editor means where we can write the code, the platform where you can write the code. Then Python notebook where you write the code. Source file, entire code. Once you write the editor, you are writing the code where the place writing the code. When you write the code, what happens? It will not execute, right? So the code, entire code will shift to source file. Python internally it assumes that is a source file. Source file is nothing but whatever the code we have, that code will be displayed. That code will be displayed. That is called as the source file. Okay, entire thing. Now it will go to the compiler. It will go to the compiler. What compiler does? Yesterday I used one word. There is no compilation in Python, only execution. Sir, now we are talking about compiler. What compiler does here? Here, compiler internally checks, is there any syntax errors? Compiler internally checks, is there any syntax errors. I mean, I've written something wrong in the code. It will check, right? Python need to check, right? Is there a syntax error? And also, does Python is a high level programming language or a low level programming language? High level programming. Does, okay, it is a high level programming language. I agree with all of you. Does computer can able to understand high level programming language? Definitely no, it won't understand the high level program. Before executing the code, it need to convert into low level programming language. Am I right? Before executing the code, it need to convert into the low level programming language. Yes or no? When it converts the low level programming language, how it will store the internal machine language? Byte code, right? Byte means 0 and 1. So compiler, that is with the help of kernel, it will convert the high level programming language into low level programming language. High level programming language into low level programming language. So then it will go to the virtual machine, Python virtual machine. Virtual machine PVM, we call as PVM. What is PVM? PVM with the help of large standard libraries. See here, large standard libraries. PVM will execute the code because whatever the functions, whatever the library said, it will check whether everything is correct and load it into the Python. It will execute the code. All the large standard libraries which are available under PVM, Python Virtual Machine. What Python Virtual Machine basically it helps us to execute the code based on the syntax or logic we have given or based on the functionality we have provided. As we said, one of the point yesterday, it is object oriented and procedural language. What is object oriented? Reference. You give the reference. Procedure means function and logic. So it is a combination of both. So PVM based on the large standard library, it will check logic or it will check the references. So let's say I'm referring the NumPy. Did we refer correctly or not? Let's say I'm referring math library. Are you referring correctly or not? It will check it. And then logic is correct or wrong. Functional is correct or wrong. It will check step by step. And then finally it will execute the program. That's how sometimes in interview they might ask you how it is working internally. How it is working internally. This is how we need to explain. Boss, I have a editor. Editor means as a user where we can write the code. Then it will go to the source file. Source file is nothing but source file means before executing entire editor it will consider as a source file. Now compiler means check the syntax. So here compiler, syntax checker and translator. Sorry, my bad. Python code, it will go to syntax checker and translator. Translator means as it is a high level programming language, high level programming language to low level programming language. Translator will convert into byte code. Byte code is nothing but zeros and ones. Then it will go to for execution purpose. It will go to the PVM, Python virtual machine. And then once it execute in the Python virtual machine, it will give the output to us. Are you clear with this execution process? Anyone are not clear? Pavani, is it clear? Judy, Shiva, Madhu,
Yes, sir.
Sushma, Chintan, everyone clear? When I right? Okay, perfect. Now once execute this one. Now, okay, sir, you talked about the editor. Which editor, sir? What do you mean by editor? What I said? Editor means where we can write the code. So in Python, we have different editors. Of course, all these editors are belonging to Anaconda distribution only. All the editors are belonging to Anaconda distribution. For example, if you write code in Spider, if you write Qt console, Jupyter notebook, everything is same. There is no need to change. But the way platform, the way editor looks is different. Industry-wide standard editor is Jupyter notebook. Spider, if you are in college days, if you are in colleges, in schools, they are using Spider. Easy to look and all. But when you are dealing with a huge volume of data, Spider won't work. Won't work means the execution speed is very less. Reason being, for example, I have a database. Imagine I have a database. Let's say this is the table. Okay. Table means what is the table? Combination of rows and columns. Do you agree? Do you agree? Combination of rows and columns. So generally what happens, it will Python, as we said, that execution line by line, right? It will execute first row. Once, let's say A column, B column, C column, D column, E column. First, it will execute the A column information, not entire row, first row. Then it will go to the B row, B1. Then it will go to C1, D1, E1. First, if entire row is completed, then it will go to the second row. If second row is completed, then it will go to the third row. If entire third row is completed, then it will go to the fourth row. If fourth row is completed, then it will go to the fifth row. Like that, it will execute. Am I right? Imagine, let's say each record it takes 1 second to execute. Each row 1 second. Imagine 100 seconds. Suppose I have 100 rows, how much time it will take to execute? 100 seconds, right?
100 seconds.
100 seconds is nothing but 1 minute 40 seconds, right?
Yes,
1000 rows means
1000.
1000 rows means 1000 seconds. In terms of minutes,
Some 12, 30.
60 second means 1 minute. Almost 16 to 60 means 1 hour means 3600. That means half an hour means 1800, right? That means around 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know exactly. Let's say you can calculate. Let's say imagine 10,000 rows, 10,000 seconds. Imagine that means more than hour. Boss, as we are living data, every day we are generating huge volume of data. Then in that moment, I have 1 billion records. 1 billion means 100 crore. 100 crore records. Imagine 1 second each row, then it is like lot of time. What if? Okay, let me explain the same scenario. 100 rows. Let's say I have a table, as we said that table 100. So let's say 10 rows, 100 rows, 1000 rows, 10,000 rows, 1 billion. 1 billion. So 1 billion means it takes huge volume of data. So it takes huge volume of data. So this is generally issue with the traditional databases. So what happens? Let's say this is a database. Data 1 billion records. 1 billion records. Imagine I divided the data into 10 nodes, 10 clusters. 10 clusters. Okay, what is cluster? I will explain in the PySpark. At the time of PySpark, I'll explain. 10 clusters. That means 10 nodes. So divide the 10 billion, let's say 1000 records. 10 billion, let's say 10. Now what will go per? 100 records, 100 records, 100 records, 100 records, 100 records, 100, 100, 100. Now how much time? So all the 10 nodes execute parallelly. How much it will take now? As you know that 1 row 1 second, right? 1000 rows means 1000 seconds, right? That means it will go around 16 minutes, 16, 17 minutes. If I'm not wrong, correct, subject to correction 1 or 2 minutes, right? Now imagine I divide the data into 10 nodes and I splitted the 1000 rows. First 10, 10 buckets, 100 rows. Now how much it will take? Imagine all the 10 buckets starting at the same time. Parallelly. Okay, all the 10 buckets are starting parallelly. How much it will take? 100 seconds only, right? 100 seconds only, right? That means 1 minute. That means almost you're saving 40 minutes, right? This process is called as parallel processing. This process is called parallel processing. Jupyter Notebook is the only one IDE which supports the parallel processing. Jupyter Notebook or Jupyter Lab is the only one which supports for parallel processing. So that is the reason, as in the real world, we are going to work with huge volume of data. So to save some time, we are going to use the parallel processing or parallel processing. So for parallel processing, we are going to use the Jupyter Notebook. Understand? So that is the reason. We use the Qt console and all. Let me open one by one ID. Sir, how do I open the one by one ID? How do I open the one by one ID? So once everyone install that, just type the Anaconda Navigator. Anaconda Navigator. Anaconda Navigator. What is that? Anaconda Navigator. Open Anaconda Navigator. It will take some time. I would request all of you to open Anaconda Navigator. It will take 1 minute of time. I mean, first time it will take some time to open. Don't mind. Don't worry. Okay, it is opening. Okay. Can you see here? This is the platform. You can able to get everything. Oracle Data Science, IBM Watson, Qt Console, Jupyter Notebook, right? Spider, right? Jupyter Note, Jupyter Data Spell. Okay, interactive Jupyter Notebooks with the intelligent Python R coding, right? Everything you can get. These are the some things are new, guys. Can everyone able to see? So if you want PyCharm, you can install it. You can from here you can install. So if you see the launch, you can directly launch it. Okay, from you can, let's say I want to launch Qt console. Okay, Qt console. Can everyone able to see my screen? Can everyone able to see my screen? Can everyone able? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Qt console. Let's open the Qt console. Just it takes up. Okay, it may take 1 second. Okay, Qt. So what happened? This is the console. I'm just making the zoom in control plus plus. Control. I'm just making the. Can everyone see? So the version is the Python 3.9. Main is August something which whenever installed and all. Okay. So 2 plus 3. I'm just 2 plus 3. What is the answer? 5. I given the one input, one output. 10 minus 5 something. Print. Yesterday we discussed the print. Hello. Hello data vision.
Yes, yes,
Hello,
sir.
hello data vision. Suppose what if I'm using the print? Hello world. Will it, can you observe any difference for the input 3 and 4? Can you observe any difference for input 3 and 4?
The print is in black color.
So the fourth is in black color and 3 is the green color or green or blue, whatever you think. Some people say blue, some people green, whatever you want to think. If syntax error, then always display in the black color. Always display in the black color. So, I mean, sir, what is the syntax here? Print should be always a Python is a case sensitive language. What is a case sensitive? I'll explain. Don't worry. In another half an hour, we'll discuss about it. Here, print is the capital. It will throw an error. Name print is not defined. If there is any syntax error, it will throw an error. What is the error? We'll discuss. We'll go with the in detail about that later. Okay, don't worry. Now, sir, let's say as you're working in a project, imagine you are working in the project. Will you able to complete the project in 1 day? Will you able to complete the project in 1 day?
No.
No. No, definitely no. Okay, agree. But will you able to complete the project in 2 days? 2 days? Definitely no, not possible. Maybe not possible. Let me tell you one example. I have a telecom data. Telecom data, 3 years information. What is the how many years of information? 3 years of information. I have a different data set, usage data. Under the usage means data usage, voice, incoming, outgoing, SMSs, transaction information. Let's say 100 billion records. 100 billion records. How many records? 100 billion. 100 billion records. That means 100 into 100. 10,000 crores. 10,000 crore records. I can say 1,000 crores means 1 trillion records basically. 1 trillion records. Okay. Okay. Now I have billing information. I have a payment information. I have complaint information. Like different information, network information, something like that. So aggregate the billing information. Aggregate the billing information. It takes 18 hours. Aggregate the billing information at customer level. Customer level means so one customer can have, let's say, thousands of records. Huh? Yeah, for 1 trillion records, it's taking 18 hours. Just example. Just imagine aggregating means what is aggregating? Let me explain you aggregating. What do you mean by aggregating? So let's say Shiva is a customer. Shiva, D Shiva. Shiva, are you there? Shiva, are you there? Pavani, let me ask a question to Pavani. Can you please respond, anyone?
Yes, sir.
Madam, if you don't mind, how many times you open the Facebook in a day?
I'm not using it now.
Okay, are you using WhatsApp?
Yeah,
How many times you open the WhatsApp in a day? I mean,
10 to 15.
only 10 to 15 times?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, fine, no issues. So you said that 10 to 15 times in a day. Whenever you open the WhatsApp, some amount of data is consuming. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Yes or no? That means whenever you, let's say, Pavani, morning 8 o'clock, he has used some data, maybe 1 MB data she has used. Maybe she used 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Again, she is the 1 MB. Like all the transactions are there, right? Maybe as she mentioned that 15 times, how many records will be there for on the day? 15 records will be there
15
for
records.
15 records. Month 30 into 50, 450 records, right? So in a
Yes.
monthly, how much data Pavani consumed? Sum of, right? Is it correct? Am I right or not? Judy, is it correct or wrong? Garidhar Reddy, is it correct or wrong? So as using the 450 transaction, that means 450. What is the total data she has used? I need to get the total sum of the usage, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Correct.
Yes.
Yes. Let me
Yes,
explain.
sir.
Let me explain in Excel so that you can have some better understanding. If you're confusion about this. Let's say Pavani, I'm taking the example of Pavani, maybe for the month of January. Let's say January 1st Jan, she used the 8 a.m. 1 MB. 1st Jan, 1st Jan, 9 a.m. another 1 MB. Data she consumed. 1st Jan, 10 a.m. another 1 MB. Like that, blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. 31st Jan, maybe she slept at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. 1 MB. So for the entire January month, how much she has consumed? 450 MB. As an example. Am I right? Yes or no? Do you agree with me? Yes or no, guys? Guys are able
Yes.
to follow.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes. Yes. Sir.
So that
Yes,
means
sir.
how many records will be there? 1, 2. That means almost 450
31.
records. No, 450 records, right? She is consuming 15 times in a day. 31 into 15. 31
Yeah.
into
Yeah. Yes.
15. 465. If I'm not wrong. 465. Okay. So 465 MB also. Now, similarly, one customer aggregating 465 records into one record. That is the meaning of aggregating, combining. Aggregating is nothing but combining. Aggregating is nothing but combining. Now, imagine, so aggregate such kind of data, it is 1 trillion records, 1 trillion records, 18 hours. So what happens after 18 hours? Maybe in office, anyone are working in the office? Anyone working in this group? Is anyone are working in this group?
Yes,
Yes. No,
yes, sir.
in our office systems, at least you need to restart once in a day, automatically get restart, right?
Yes, sir.
Automatically get restart, right? So after 18 hours, let's say your system restart. Whatever you store the data all get vanished, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right? You again need to start 18 hours. That means you should have some place to store the data, right? With the help of console, you cannot store the data or you cannot store your project. Only for practice purpose on time temporary purpose only we can use. For project storing purpose we cannot use the console. For example, One more drawback I'll tell you about the console. Sir, now you have written one code for factorial. Let's say Srinivas written one code for factorial. Let's say you developed one code for factorial. How to calculate the factorial? Calculating the factorial. Now, all of sudden, Srinivas went on leave. It is a repeated task, need to work on every month. Now, this month, Rakesh need to work on the code. Rakesh need to work on the code. Imagine Rakesh trying to understand what Srinivas has written the code. Rakesh is trying to understand what Srinivas has written the code. He is not able to understand what he has written, why he has used that comments. There is no comment, there is no usage of the code, why he has written under that. Is it easy to write, understand? Definitely. What if someone there, someone have written the code and they have comments about the code, why you have written the code, what you have written and all. Then it is easy to understand. Imagine, let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. For example, in your home, shelf and all, sometimes you keep your pocket, a purse somewhere. You're checking after a month or so, will you able to remember where you kept? Definitely no. Like the same way, you have written a code months back, years back, 2 years back. After 2 years, you want to understand the code what you have written. Will you able to remember? Definitely no. What if you write the comments about the code? Why you have written that? What you have written that? Usage of the code. Then while looking at the comments, you can easily understand, you can easily recall. Right? So why people are maintaining the diary? Because it is impossible to remember. Impossible to remember. Right? So that is the reason we use the, suppose any politicians, whenever CBA cases or police raids happen, houses, big politicians or like a businessman, the common point you might have heard, found the diary, found recovered the diary from his home. What is there? He write everything. I given this politician X amount, I given this politician Y amount, some XZ amount, like that. To recall that. Right. Similarly, whatever the code we have written, to remember that code, we can use the we can use the comment. So here in IPython, sorry, in console, Jupyter console and all, it is difficult to write the comments. It is difficult to write the comments. So that is the reason only for temporary purpose only we can use. However, in terms of project perspective, we cannot use it. Agree? The drawback with the Qt console, everyone? Any confusion, any doubt? Can I close this one? Jupyter Notebook? Jupyter Console? Darshan, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Judy, go ahead. Shashikala, go ahead. Tell me.
Nothing, sir. I just said yes.
Okay, perfect. Let me close this.
So
Gautam, tell
code.
me.
Uh,
Tell me.
yeah.
Ah,
So this Jupyter Qt console is just. Are we going to write the code here, or is that like somewhere where we'll be writing the code?
somewhere we'll round right. So I am telling you the drawback of each one. Which one is the best one to use?
Okay, good. Yeah.
So Qt console, we said that is not good to use going forward. What is the next one we're talking about? Spider. Spider, right? So here in the Anaconda Navigator, Jimlata, can you hear me? Are you able to follow me? Yes, sir. Yeah, okay. So next, so Spider. Let's open the Spider. Spider. I'm just launching the Spider. Oh, initializing the Spider, loading breakpoints and all. I use so Spider. This how the looks the Spider and all. Okay, the left hand side. The left hand side is about coding, like editor. The left hand side where you can write the code. For example, 2 plus 5. Let's say you can use the view control plus. Can you see here, everyone? 2 plus 5. I'm selecting, and here can you see the run button? Can you see the run button? Or you can press the F5. See, pandas. Oh, okay. I'm executing this one, boss. Why it is okay? Why it is not displaying the output? Okay. Why it is something went wrong with this spider? Maybe the latest version might not be might have to update it. That could be the probable reason. New file 2 plus 5. Run file maybe it is in spider. Okay, don't worry. So here when you execute the code, here is the code. Here it will, if whenever you create the data sets, you can file help. There is a help, for example, pandas. It will give all the information about the pandas, right? Suppose if I write the numpy, it will take execute in the numpy. For example, if I write the let's say math is not the model standard library. Let's say if I write about factorial, so it is a part of the math. Okay, so it will give all the information. Variable explorer means whatever the data sets you create, all the information will be here. The below right side below is the right, the output, whatever the file output display. Oh, it looks for a fresher practicing point, spider is good. However, when you are dealing with the huge volume of data, let's say, can you please keep the mic in mute, Gautam? Mm.
Sorry,
When
sir.
when you're dealing with the large volume of data, in that case, in that moment, spider becomes slow. So we don't suggest to use the spider in the real world. It works everything good. You can save and everything, but when you're working the large volume data, but as it does not support the parallel processing, as I told. So to overcome this kind of things also, Jupyter Notebook. So directly you can see it opens. Hello, can you see my screen? Everyone? It opens in localhost. You don't require internet. Though it open in web browser, Google Chrome, you don't require internet connection. By default, it open the local host 888 like this. This is the everything is common for everyone. Even if you open that, is a common. So now here this is the where of files, local files and all running clusters. As I told you, right? Clusters. Can everyone see open this IPython Parallel? It looks like the IPython Parallel will install like this. So as I said that IPython Parallel means it will work the parallel processing. It works the parallel processing. So when you click on the IPython Parallel, everyone, can you click on the IPython Parallel? See, when you click on the IPython Parallel, it will give some discussions. IPython Parallel means interactive parallel is a Python package controlling clusters in IPython. So you need to install this one. How do you install? Pip install IPy parallel. Where I need to go? Open the Anaconda prompt. Open the Anaconda prompt in the search button. Open the Anaconda prompt. Everyone, try it. Everyone, open the Anaconda prompt. Copy paste. Copy paste. Okay. Copy paste. Pip install IPy parallel. Are you able to follow me, guys? Copy paste. Everyone, can anyone try to execute? Try to execute. Pip enter, then enter. I'm entering it. It will take some time. Oh, for me, it is already satisfied. Installing correction IPython parallel. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do now, close this IPython parallel once installed. IPy. Close this. Go to the Jupyter notebook. In the search button, directly you can go open the Jupyter notebook. Open the Jupyter notebook.
Sir, your screen share is turned off.
Turned off.
Yeah,
Sir,
for me.
connectivity was screen.
Why? Sorry, I think something went wrong.
Sir, we can't see your screen, sir.
Now, will you able to see?
Right, no, it's fine,
Yeah,
it's
now
fine.
we can see.
Sorry, something went wrong. When you lost it?
Yeah,
Just Anaconda prompt. Anaconda prompt. Just.
So Anaconda, open the Anaconda prompt, everyone. Try to install this one. What is that? IPython Parallel. When you open this one, like here, The one which I tell 10 clusters, 20 clusters and all. You can mention here, you can execute 20 start like this. So it will tell you about all this thing. There is a terminal, it will display in the running, it will display what are the codes are executing, what are different Jupyter notebooks are working. File means these are the files. One best thing all of you would suggest, I am storing in OneDrive, guys. What I do, 1 second. I am storing in OneDrive trainings. I have a separate things, trainings and all. Create a one folder like this. What is your batch? This is the BA Business Analytics batch, January, right? January 2023. Create a one folder, right? So all the codes, whatever the codes we are executing daily, all the codes you can store here. Okay, guys? So what I'm going to do now, once you open this Jupyter Notebook, OneDrive, for me it is OneDrive, it would be up to you where you want to store trainings for me, like classes, BA January 23. Just here, this notebook is empty. The notebook is empty. Just here upload new, just click on the new, it will display IPython 3. This is how it looks like. Are you able to follow me? This is how it looks like. Are you clear? Do you want me to explain one more time?
Koti a bit slow because we missed actually.
Can you please explain once again, sir?
Okay, 1 second. Let me close all these things. Okay. So once you install the IPy Parallel, go to the search button, open Jupyter Notebook. Direct type here, Jupyter Notebook. Can you see everyone my screen? Jupyter
Yes.
Notebook.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I'm just clicking on the Jupyter Notebook. When I click on the Jupyter Notebook, automatically it will open the web browser. Are you able to open this?
Yes, Koti.
Yes. Now, when you open this, you can see the three things, files running and all. So as we are going to work on Python for next 40 days, all the codes need to be stored at one place. Am I right? So that is the reason I created a one folder on my personal laptop. Similarly, I would suggest create a one folder. I created a folder in OneDrive, data, trainings, classes, BA January 23. Here I created, this is a folder. Can you see? This is how I opened this. For me, in case if you want this, what you need to do, can you see the upload and new? Just go on new, click on IPython 3 IPyr. Clear? Agree with me? Now, are you on the same page? Patanjali?
Actually, I have gone into the OneDrive and then
OneDrive means your wish.
yeah,
Not is
yeah.
my, yeah,
Okay.
wherever you create this. OneDrive means in my laptop, it's OneDrive. Create a one folder in your personal laptop. Go there in that location. In my location, in my laptop, I stored in OneDrive. In your laptop, it would be Patanjali under the education, maybe under the new Python classes. There you can create anywhere your wish. Wherever created a folder, there you need to go. Are you clear? Are you clear, guys? Everyone? Or do you want me to explain one more time? Okay.
It's clear. It's clear.
Everyone clear? So once you open this Jupyter Notebook, here file. Can you see the file, everyone? New notebook means you can open the new file. Open means already saved file. Copy means copy, rename the file. For example, rename means you are renaming the file. So today date is the Feb 1st, 01/02/2023. Introduction to Python. I renamed the file. So I directly can click here, rename the file. So automatically Python will save. It will save, let's say I stored in the file called BA 2023, right? This is my folder where I saved BA 2023, BA Jan 20. It will stored IPynb. It will store file name 01 introduction IPynb. What is IPynb? It will store each file Jupyter Notebook. In Jupyter Notebook, each file stored as file name dot IPynb. IPynb. What is IPynb? I means interactive. I means interactive. Py means Python. NB means notebook. Interactive Python notebook. Interactive Python notebook. Are you clear? IP1. Each file in Jupyter notebook are stored as IPyNB. Okay. So, okay. Next file is edit means edit all these things. You can go to the help. You can go to the help. You can see the keyboard shortcuts. What are the keyboard shortcuts? You can click on the keyboard shortcuts. You can see the different shortcuts. If you want to apply something, you can use the escape to enable. If you want keyboard command modes enable, you press escape and then do your action. For example, enter edit mode, run cell, alt enter, edit shortcuts. Okay, you can edit the shortcuts. Whatever the add for you, you can add and shortcuts also. Okay, so this is the one example for this. So help and help, you can go to the help also. You can think one thing here. You can see the code mode is a drop down code. Code means it will look like start with the input. Let's say 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3. Use shift enter. Use from keyboard shift enter. Let's say 3 plus 4. When you use shift enter, execute the current cell and also create the new empty cell. This is the new empty cell. For example, 4 plus 5. Now, this is the highlighted one is the current cell. When I use the shift enter from the keyboard, it will execute the current cell and also created the new cell. Let's say 6 plus 10. If I use shift control enter, if I use control enter, it will execute only the current cell and it won't create no empty cell. Shift enter. Remember the point, very important. What shift enter does? Shift plus enter in the keyboard. Execute current cell and create new empty cell. Whereas control plus enter, execute current cell only. Execute current cell only. Simple. Execute current cell only. Am I right? Execute current cell only. Okay. Am I right? Shift enter, control enter. These are the only two cases. Right. Okay. These are the new cases. Are you clear about this, everyone? Did you try? Did anyone try? Did anyone
Yes, sir.
try? Is it working?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Now let's say I'm using shift enter. Suppose if I use shift enter, automatically the number input number also change. Suppose if I change to markdown. So earlier now markdown, it act as a notebook. It act as a notebook. You can write hash introduction to Python. Hash means comments. All the comments in Python start with hash. Introduction to Python. So you can write one by one point. First point, general purpose. General purpose. Okay, okay, 1 second. General language, simple to say. Second is high level programming language. Third is open source, right? And supports the interpreted language. Something. And then shift enter. Now it acts as a text. Whenever you open this notebook, even after 10 years also, oh, on February 1st, let's say you are in 2050, after 27 years. Oh, 23 years, 27 years. So let's say after 27 years, you open this notebook. Oh, there is a guy called Koti. I don't know whether he's alive or dead. He explained about the Python. He explained about the Python. By the time of 27, definitely would have been retired. Okay. Okay, maybe some new language may also come in the future, right? Right. Agree. So this is how we can work. So Jupyter Notebook, the reason why we are as a data analyst, as a data scientist, we use Jupyter Notebook. It can act as notebook like the way, and we can also write the code. And you can save it that automatically. You can save it. So tomorrow, whenever you open it, you can start from there only. You can execute from there only. Agree with me? And you can easily connect with the Spark language. Even guys, if you open the clouds, even Azure cloud, even if you open the AWS cloud, even if you're GCP, the Jupyter notebooks only they do use. Vijay Kaushal, tell me, they use the Jupyter notebook only. Sir, okay, that is fine. We'll discuss in detail about that tomorrow. I'll give the examples and all. Now, I hope at least you can set up this one. Now, sir, I don't have a laptop. Of course, laptop is not required, but my system won't support. Can't I use Collab? Can't I use Collab? Google Collab. So, in order to open the Google Collab, you must have to open the Google Drive. You must have to open the Google Drive. So, and also have the internet connection. How to open the Google Drive? So, let me open the drive.google.com. So, sign in. Sign in. Let's say we create a Gmail also. Gmail also we can create, right? I don't want to use my original one. Create an account. First name, let's say Business Analytics, Jan 2023. Username BA Jan, KSR, BA Jan 20, Business Analytics. Remember, I don't remember the name. Remember that at the rate of gmail.com. Password could be 2. Can you tell me one password? BA 123456789. I'm writing the BA 1234567. 6 only. At the rate. Same password I'm using here. Next. Recovery email address optional. Day is first month is the Feb 2000. Gender, rather not say. Okay. I open the account. Let's say I agree. Let's say creating an account. Let's say it's open in the Google Workspace. Okay. I mean, already you have the Gmail Drive. So you must have that. So that is the reason I'm not explaining that about this, but directly can open the Google Drive also, not required. Okay. Now when I have Google Drive, there is can you see 9 stars, 9 dots? Everyone see the Google Apps? Everyone see the Google Apps? Can you click on the Google Apps directly to take you the drive? You can see the drive, everyone? Everyone can able to see the drive, guys? Google Drive? Open the Google Drive. What is that? Open the Google Drive. In the Google Drive, can you see the plus new symbol? Can you see everyone see the new symbol?
Yes.
Yes.
There is an option called more. So you can see the collab is there or not. Collab is there or not. There is no collab, right? As of now. Then click on the connect more apps. There is a symbol called connect more apps. Connect more apps. When you connect more apps, type collab. Collaboratory. Can you see that? Collaboratory. So the first one is collaboratory. This allows Google Colab to open to create files in Google Drive. So it is asked, this allows Google Collaboratory to open and install. Continue. BAGN. It is asking the same thing. Done. Okay, done. Just nothing added. Okay, close it. Now click on the new again. More collaborator. Can you see the Google Collaborator now? Click on the Google Collaborator. It is loading. It may take some time first time to load. See, this is the code. So here also the same IPython file, unit untitled 0. Same thing as like us. Here you can see write all the table of content and you can see code. Code means you can add the first point. 2 plus 5. You can see the star button. You can see the run cell. Control enter you can use. It is connecting, guys. It is not connected yet. It is not connected yet. Connecting. Let it connect first. It will connect. It will take some time. First time. Initializing. It will take some time. Connected. See, it's given output 7, right? So when you see connect the RAM, desktop and all, do you want to connect to Google Cloud Server? Right now, as of now, it is connected to RAM. If a huge volume of data, it will connect to Google Drive. GCMV means virtual machines. Connect to hosted runtime and all. You can use this. How much time, how much GB and all. You can use the resource. You can write, for example, the text means you can write the text. Double click. Double click means like WhatsApp, you can highlight, right? Highlighted with the double same star, right? Star means you can highlight it the bold color, right? Same thing. Introduction to Python. I can write high level programming language, open source. Okay, same thing. Observe that Jupyter notebook and everything is the same. But here one thing, files. Suppose you want to sell files, their files, anything you can see, you can use the files. You can insert, delete, and up, down button. Like that, you can. You can see some sample data also in this case. These are the some sample files. Okay. So sample files you need to keep in one folder, whatever the folder in your location. Connect to the Google Drive because for that you need to connect to the Google Drive because the data need to store at Google Drive, right? See edit and all, you can just allow. So this means from Google Colab import drive, all that we are connecting the entire drive so that you can easily access the files. I can explain one day how to mount to this and all. So guys, from tomorrow onwards, you can practice in Google Colab as well as Jupyter. Only one issue is that, uh, for in order to work in the Google Colab, you must have to have the internet connection. Whereas in Jupyter Notebook, you don't require internet connection. Whatever, it will execute the same. What I will do, one day I will work in Google Colab, one day I will work in Jupyter Notebook so that you can get practice simultaneously in both the tools. Okay, is it fine? Is it fine?
Yes, yes, good.
Tomorrow, so let's say tomorrow I'll start with the Google Colab only. So let's say Jupyter Notebook. Day after tomorrow, I'll work with the Google Colab. After that, I'll work with the like that one day, like one day this one day that one. You can. So tomorrow onwards, theory by today we'll install everything. Theory is completed. There is no more theory. Even if it's theory, less than 20 minutes. Most of things are practical. I would urge you all of you. I would request all of you. Please be ready with. Please ready with installation of Python. Installation of Python. Okay. So Jupyter Notebook and all, so that we'll work on this. That's all for today, guys. Thank you all. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow.